Hello everyone and welcome back to Very Cold Lasagna, your filthy casual place for all the filthy casual takes on the world of sports. I am DylanLasagna and welcome back to another round of our weekly preview and picks for the 2022 season. And business is picking up as we get into the month of December, but we're not quite there yet. It's the week before Thanksgiving and yeah, this is kind of a prelude to the feast that is about to come. So that being said, let's take a look at the slate that is to come this coming weekend. So of course, we have to take a look at the teams that are on bye this week, and that is the Jacksonville Jaguars, the Miami Dolphins, the Seattle Seahawks, and the Tampa Bay Bucks. So all those teams are resting. They're going to enjoy a little bit of Thanksgiving turkey, chicken, whatever they're having for the next 2 weeks as they prepare for week 12. So looking at this game slate, for week 11, it's kind of interesting. There are some big matchups here and there, but let's take a look at it, shall we? Starting things off on Thursday Night Football, we got the ball rolling there, only on Prime Video for $15 a month. Yeah, now those viewership numbers, huh? How about that? So anyway, this is actually a little bit of a nail biter, huh? The Tennessee Titans beat the Green Bay Packers 27-17, and the Titans, they had their most efficient performance of the season as the Titans offense backed up their strong defense as Ryan Tannehill and Derrick Henry combined for 3 touchdowns. Tannehill actually looked pretty good aside from a couple sacks and an interception in the fourth. And the defense reverted Aaron Rodgers and the Packers offense back to pedestrian at the most critical points to beat them in this one and continue to ascend in the AFC. And, who knows how they'll be in come playoff time. But they start to regain their footing, and they're obviously going to win the AFC South. So looking at our actual picks for Sunday and Monday, starting with the early morning slate for Sunday, the Chicago Bears at 3-7 take on the 4-6 Atlanta Falcons. So this game for the Bears is a great opportunity for offensive coordinator Luke Getsy to, perhaps make Justin Fields throw the ball against a terrible Falcon secondary rather than play a bunch of Bears football against Atlanta. Meanwhile, for Atlanta, the head coach for them, Arthur Smith, may say there's no quarterback dilemma, but who knows? Against the Bears, that might change, even against them, if Marcus Mariota continues to struggle. And who knows? Maybe we might see a little bit of Desmond Ridder. At this point, might as well do it. Give me the Bears in this one. The Carolina Panthers, from their mini bye after the Thursday night game, at 3-7, take on the Baltimore Ravens coming off their actual bye at 6-3. And guess who they're facing? Their old rival from the Cleveland Skidmark days, Baker Mayfield, set to start for Carolina with PJ Walker dealing with the high ankle sprain from that Thursday night game. So the Ravens get to see their old buddy in the AFC North, Baker Mayfield. Meanwhile, for the Ravens, I'm not sure if they're getting Mark Andrews back for this week. Hopefully they will, because even then, the reserve receivers got to step up for the stretch run if the Ravens hope to regain the AFC North by season's end. Sure, they're leading in the North, but you want to actually win it. So give me the Ravens in this one. The Cleveland Browns at 3-6 take on the Buffalo Bills in Detroit. Why do I say in Detroit? So the game was actually moved from Buffalo to Detroit after a severe snowstorm hit Buffalo and Highmark Stadium on Friday. So the day before, the NFL moved the game to Detroit for this game on Sunday. So they didn't want to. I guess they didn't want to take any chances. And I know people were saying, "Oh, the snow is going to clear by Saturday," but I guess the NFL didn't want to take any chances. But either way, this is the Browns' literal last desperation chance. And I know I say this every single week with the skid marks, but if they somehow don't pull off an upset in this one against a pretty much also desperate Bills, then pretty much the rest of the season is pretty much Deshaun Watson learning the offense, pretty much, at this point. Meanwhile, for the Bills, they got to win this game. because then after the Lions game on Detroit, because basically they're staying in Detroit after this. After the Lions game on Thanksgiving, it's brutal. These next couple of weeks, the Patriots, the Jets, the Dolphins, and then the Bengals, then the Patriots again. God damn, that's so fucking bad. So while I'm picking the Bills to win this game, they better show up to play. The Washington Commanders at 5-5 take on the Houston Texans at 1-7-1. You got to give credit to Washington here. And despite all the shittiness that's happening in that organization, and I'm not going to talk about it here, they're playing with a lot of energy. And the offense with Taylor Heineke is in full command. So you got to give them props here. Meanwhile, for the Texans, on the other hand, they're just looking towards April. They are looking to that first overall pick. So, and it's theirs to lose at this point, considering where all these bottom barrel teams, what they're doing. I mean, they're just like somehow winning games. So give me the Washington Commanders in this one. The Philadelphia Eagles at 8-1 take on the Indianapolis Colts at 4-5-1. So the Eagles, after they lost a stunner at home on Monday night to Washington, they're aiming to bounce back from their first loss. But yeah, the problem is their potential weakness could be exploited even further when Indianapolis head coach Jeff Saturday could fully unleash Jonathan Taylor, their running back, on the Eagles' exposed run defense. So yeah, you got to be careful there, especially on a short week. Yeah, while I'm carefully picking the Eagles here, yeah, even if you decide Ndamukong Suh for the defensive line with Jordan Davis still out, you got to be careful with Jonathan Taylor. Just saying. The New York Jets at 6-3 take on the New England Patriots at 5-4. Both of these teams coming off a bye for this critical AFC East rematch with playoff significance. Now, when these two teams last met, the Jets actually had an opportunity to beat the Patriots at home, but Zach Wilson pretty much undid them with 3 turnovers in the second half. And the Jets are pretty much looking to right that wrong from that Week 8 matchup, while the Patriots are looking to aim ground in a pretty much wide open division. And especially now, considering that Miami is leading the division, the Jets are in prime position for a playoff spot. And sure, everyone in that division currently would be in the playoffs if it started today, but still, nothing is safe right now. So I like the Jets in this spot on the road. Yeah, they're in Foxborough, but Gillette Stadium hasn't been scary since Tom Brady left. So just saying. The LA Rams at 3-6 take on the 3-7 New Orleans Saints. The Rams' free fall season is getting worse. Cooper Kupp, their top receivers, on IR, and even Matthew Stafford come back for this game. If he gets cleared from concussion protocol, what's the point? Your only weapon on offense is out of the fold for a couple weeks with the ankle injury. So it's like, where's the offense gonna come from? Allen Robinson hasn't done shit. Van Jefferson hasn't done shit since he came back. What, Tyler Higbee? Where's he? He's disappeared. So you got to do something at some point. Meanwhile, for the Saints, they may be considering a QB change, but who's it going to be? James Winston apparently still is dealing with an injury, like with 4 cracked vertebrae in his back. Yeah, we saw what happened when they tried to do Taysom Hill like last year during the stretch portion of the season. And yeah, that didn't really exactly work out. So who else is it going to be? So give me the Rams in this one. It's going to be real ugly in the Big Easy. The Detroit Lions at 3-6 take on the 7-2 New York Giants. They're hoping that this strategic defense and a good Jared Goff equal an upset against Big Blue. But I think Brian Daboll's Giants here, coming off a bye, with the usage of Saquon Barkley and Daniel Jones, minimizing some of the mistakes, I think they should pull it out against the Lions, as long as they minimize those mistakes and the defense plays well and makes Jared Goff make mistakes of his own. So give me the Giants in this one. The late afternoon games, the Las Vegas Raiders at 2-7 take on the 3-6 Denver Broncos. And, at this point, I can't really say anything else about the Raiders other than that it can't get any more worse or any more embarrassing for them, right? Right? Like, come on. What else? How worse can this season go for Las Vegas? Like, what else? You've already got shut out by New Orleans. You already got blown a couple leads, especially to the all-elite Jaguars, who are owned by Tony Khanman and his daddy, who somehow hasn't been scissored yet. And then they lose to a freaking first-time head coach mid-season. So it can't get any worse for them, right? Right? Anyway, Denver has problems of their own, but it can't be that bad as the Raiders, right? Right? So anyway, give me the Broncos in this one. Like, is there any reason to care for this game at this point? The Dallas Cowboys, though, there's this game you do have to care about, because at 6-3 for the Cowboys and at 8-1 for the Minnesota Vikings, this is a big game in the NFC playoff picture, because for Dak Prescott, he's got a rebound from no showing in that fourth quarter in overtime, because he was all over the place in that one. He was missing receivers. The running game wasn't working. And when they needed Dak to step up, he didn't. And now that the Eagles have lost their first game, everyone in that position, well, except for the Commanders, the Cowboys and the Giants, if the Eagles slip up, they're in pole position. They're all of a sudden in pole position to get that division. So Dak and the boys got a rebound in this game and pull off an upset against Minnesota. Speaking of Minnesota, with the Packers losing and the Bears and the Lions obviously going nowhere, this is a prime opportunity for Kirk Cousins and the Vikings. Despite another big test against Micah Parsons and that Dallas defense, and a prime opportunity for them to win the division by week 12. I don't expect them to win it in week 12, but I do expect them to win it by the first week of December, week 13. So they have to ace this, at least win or lose. They have to ace this big test against Micah Parsons in the Dallas defense. So I say Minnesota wins this close game against the Dallas Cowboys. The Cincinnati Bengals at 5-4 take on the 3-6 Pittsburgh Steelers. So the Bengals coming off a bye, they look ready to claw back into a playoff push. And yeah, Jamar Chase is still not healthy enough to go. But like I said when I recapped the Bengals game, use a lot of Joe Mixon. They should feature him a lot more. Meanwhile, for the Steelers, I think Kenny Pickett is starting to show a lot more flashes for Pittsburgh. It's just that he doesn't exactly have the pieces aside from George Pickens and Najee Harris at the moment. So give me the Bengals in this game. And then the Sunday Night Football game, we got another shit fest. The Kansas City Chiefs at 7-2 take on the LA Clippers at 5-4. Yeah, it's another second straight week of primetime clippering. So Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs, they're going to keep rolling into top speed into the top seed of the AFC because, well, the Bills fucked that up. Meanwhile, for the Clippers, well, they're still not 100%. And yeah, like, can we realistically expect them to show up despite Justin Herbert and Austin Eckler balling each week? Probably not. So give me the Chiefs in this one. Then the Monday Night Football close of the week, my San Francisco 49ers at 5-4 take on the Arizona Cardinals at 4-6 in Mexico City at Estadio Azteca. So the Niners, they have to bounce back. I mean, yeah, they won that game, but it was an ugly win. They got to look better on offense. They got to mesh better. Kyle Shanahan's got to come up with a better game plan, and the players have to execute better. Meanwhile, for the Cardinals, they got to win this game to keep their season hopes alive, whether with Kyler Murray or Colt McCoy under center. But Sadly, I don't expect them to do that. So give me my 49ers in this game. So those are your picks for week 11 of the 2022 season. Let me know how you feel about them, or are you against them, or who are you going with personally? I would like to know that too. What are some of your top stories going on around the league for this week? I'd like to know that too. So anyway, this is DylanLasagna of Very Cold Lasagna. And as always, keep that lasagna very cold in the fridge with your takes on the world of sports. And until next time, peace out.